Hi, thank you for always frequenting our YouTube channel here, watching our videos and subscribing to this channel. Truly appreciate it. Now, apart from providing photography tutorials on YouTube, I also teach e-learning courses in this website here. And today is an exciting day because I'm taking one of the most popular courses, the Advanced Flash e-learning. And I'm taking one of the most exciting lessons and sharing with you here for free.
Action!
This is called How to Shoot with Only the Highlight Tone, and this is one of the big 5. This lesson is lesson number 12 out of the 20 video lessons that you have in this course. I hope you enjoy this, and if you do, please visit this link here. And I hope you show your support by subscribing to my e-learning lessons and enjoy how to shoot with Big 5 highlight. In the previous lessons, we learned about the tonal range. Remember the very useful shadow? And this region here, the mid-tone, where most photographers put their subject. Let's discuss in this topic the highlight, which is this region here. Why is highlight so important in photography? 3 reasons why highlight is important. Number 1, working hand in hand with shadow, highlight gives you the illusion of depth. Whatever that's away from the light source or going away from the viewer is symbolized by the shadow. That's how you get depth. But whatever that's coming towards the viewer and nearer to the light source, you get highlight. And because highlight brings your subject or surface nearer to the viewer and nearer to the light source, highlight is very useful, especially in portrait, to separate your subject from the background layer. And reason number 3 why photographers should all learn about highlight is in product photography, where highlight shows you the texture of a surface. And with highlight, you can show the materials of your product. But how do you get highlight? And when do you get highlight? There are 2 ways that a photographer can obtain highlight. Let's go through the first way. To teach you the first way, it's best to look at your camera's exposure meter. From this dot here to this dot here, this range is your midtone. Remember, midtone is not one line. Midtone is a range. Now, whenever you exceed this line here, you get highlight. So generally, you can say that if you're 1 stop and above brighter than midtone, you get highlight. Let's look at this series of photos. In this photo, your subject is in the midtone range. So everybody is happy. It's an exposure that the eyes of your viewers get accustomed to. Let's make this shot brighter. As you can see, this is still okay because it is still within the range of midtone. But the moment I increase the brightness of the light just by 1/3 of a stop, kaboom! You start to perceive this as overexposure. So overexposure is actually defined as highlight happening at the wrong place. So when highlights fall in the wrong place of your pictures, your viewers will perceive it as overexposure. For most of the shoot that we've been doing, our main light is at the front. So you can get highlights simply by increasing the power of your main light more than 1 stop brighter than the desired midtone. That's how you get highlight. Way number 1. And hence we need to learn the second way of getting highlight. So the right way to get highlight would be to have your light source coming from behind the plane of your subject. Let's learn to shoot a photo which is completely crafted by highlights. The subject, a black color nail polish, and it's a highly glossy bottle. Now, this is your lighting plane. Typically, you would light subjects up from the front. That would be your main light, field light. But as you can see, I've moved all the lights to the back. This is a flag, which is going to be lit up by this flash. Same thing, exactly symmetrical. I've set the power to 1/4 because I want it to be on highlight, so we need to be brighter than mid-tone. Same thing, 1/4. And you notice that we've got another flag up here, just to ensure that we get the top of the nail polish as well. And this flag is lit up by this flash here, which is hidden. I don't want a flash to come from the front. If I do that, there is a risk that I may get reflection with this like a main light. So let me show you what happens. 1/4, 1/4, and that is 1/2 because the flash is lower. On a macro lens, ISO of 200, shutter speed of 200, f22 to make sure that everything is completely dark. This is a shot that is completely made by outlined highlight. And this example clearly illustrates what I was trying to tell you, that you can get highlight by lighting up from the plane of your usual lighting, all at the back. You have to remember that when light comes directly to the sensor, it will be brighter than reflected light. Let's learn how to implement highlights for portraits. Well, similar like product photography, you put all your highlights behind the subject plane. And by doing so, you get highlights. I've set up a behind-the-scene photo just to show you how I use highlight. This is an unmodified light, so the highlight will be thinner, but brighter. And this one is a modified light with a softbox, and the highlight is broader and not so fast, and more progressive. This is called a slow edge, something that you will learn in Big 5 number 4, called the edge. Now, if you were to move your highlight to the rear of the subject, you get a thinner highlight. And if you move the light to the side of the subject, broader highlight. But remember, you do not want your highlight to be too obvious. It will be too distracting for your viewers. So keep your highlight somewhat thinner. And what is the power value to set for your highlights? Remember the simple rule. Whatever lights that are coming from behind the subject plane will be at least 4 to 6 stops brighter than lights that's shining away from the camera. So with this rule in mind, what I normally do is to divide my highlight by the power of my main light by 1/4 or 1/8, which means that if my main light is full power, I will set my highlight to be 1/4 or 1/8. If my main light is 1/2 of a power, my highlight value would be 1/8 or 1/16. Well, you would have realized by now that typically 2 types of shoots require added lights: portraits or still life, such as product photography. Very seldom would you see landscape photographers adding flash or architectural photographers adding flash because the subjects would be just too wide and too big. So as you learned in that video, you do not always need to shoot with a mid-tone or shadow. There's a beautiful highlight tone that you can always use. So how do you like that lesson? If you do, visit this website now, subscribe to my masterclass on advanced flash. I'll see you in the next episode.